All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are going to unpack what is arguably the single most important concept for any future manager. This isn't just another term for your textbook. It's the one principle that underpins every single business decision you will ever make. It's the fundamental problem of scarcity. This is the invisible force that drives everything from a $5 budget to a $5 billion merger. Your entire career will be built around trying to solve this one problem. So, let's dive in.
So to really understand this, let's start with a foundational question, one that might even sound a little provocative. Why do managers even exist? I'm serious. What's the point of your future profession? Because think about it. In a perfect world, a world with unlimited money, unlimited time, unlimited talent, we wouldn't need managers. We wouldn't need you. But of course, that's not the world we live in. And understanding why that world doesn't exist is the key to understanding your value.
To really get our heads around this, we're going to use a simple but perfect analogy: a fancy hotel buffet. First, let's look at it from the perspective of the guest. What do they want? Well, they want it all. Their desires are, for all practical purposes, unlimited. They want endless lobster, they want the steak cooked to perfection, they want to try every single one of those little desserts, and of course, they want the best wine to go with it. In the mind of that customer, there is no limit, there's no ceiling. So this is the first part of our equation. Human wants are essentially infinite. Okay, now let's push through those swinging doors and go behind the scenes, into the kitchen. And here, the reality is the exact opposite. This is a world of hard, unchangeable limits. As the source material tells us, they have exactly 50 lobsters. Not 51, not around 50. 50, period. They have only 5 chefs working the line. These aren't abstract concepts. They are finite, tangible, limited resources. They can't just snap their fingers and create more lobsters or more chefs on a busy Saturday night.
And right here, on this slide, is where the core conflict of all economics and all business comes into sharp focus. On one side, you've got the guest's unlimited wants, an endless appetite. On the other side, you've the kitchen's very limited resources, exactly 50 lobsters. This gap, this fundamental mismatch between what people desire and what can actually be provided, has a name, and that name is scarcity. It is the central problem that the entire field of economics was invented to study, and it's the problem every business is designed to solve.
So that buffet problem gives us a really great, tangible picture of scarcity in action, right? You can almost feel the tension. Now, let's put on our academic hats for a moment and break it down into a formal definition, a framework that you can apply to literally any business situation you'll ever face. This is the underlying logic that explains everything.
This slide really lays out the simple but incredibly powerful logic of scarcity. It's a 3-step dance. Step 1. Resources are limited. For you as a future manager, this isn't just about things like oil or land. It's about the finite capital in your department's budget. It's about the fixed number of brilliant people on your team. And it's about the 24 hours in a day you have to work with. Step 2. Human wants are unlimited. Now, this isn't just about greed. It's driven by innovation. You know, as soon as you buy the new iPhone, the next one is announced, and suddenly you want that one. It's driven by social comparison, by seeing what others have. It's just human nature. And because of those first 2 unshakable realities, we are forced into step 3. Choices must be made. You simply cannot do everything. You can't have everything. A choice, a trade-off, is absolutely unavoidable.
Okay, so that's the theory, that's the textbook stuff. But we're here to talk about the real world, about being a manager. So let's take this big abstract concept of scarcity and put it exactly where it belongs, right on your desk, right in the middle of your daily professional life. Because trust me, this is not an academic exercise. This is your job.
And here we go. This is it, a classic, almost painful managerial dilemma, and it is born entirely from scarcity. Your resource, one single open headcount, is limited. You can only hire one person, but the wants, they're unlimited. You want more sales and a better product. So what's the choice? Do you hire the salesperson to go out there and hit this quarter's revenue target, which your boss is breathing down your neck about? Or do you hire the developer to fix the bugs and improve the product, making sure you still have happy customers a year from now? There's no easy, perfect answer here. Both are good ideas. Both are needed, but you can only pick one. Making that difficult trade-off, that is the act of managing scarcity.
And that headcount decision, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Your entire professional world is going to revolve around these core constraints, these daily scarcities. You will never, ever have enough budget to fund every promising project. You'll never have enough staff to chase down every single opportunity. You are absolutely never going to have enough time to do it all yourself. And you'll rarely have enough clean, perfect data to make a decision completely risk-free. Welcome to the reality of management.
So, this brings us to the most crucial point of all, this quote right here. This is the answer to that question we asked at the very beginning. Why do managers exist? You exist to be an administrator of scarcity. That is the job description. Your core function is to take limited inputs, money, people, time, data, and allocate them in the smartest way possible to create the greatest possible value or output. That's the entire game.
But what happens if you don't play that game well? What if a manager, or heck, an entire company, just decides to pretend that scarcity doesn't apply to them? What are the consequences of trying to have it all? Well, the cost isn't just a bad quarter or a missed target. The consequences are existential.
This is basically an economic law, as certain as gravity. A company that ignores scarcity tries to be everything to every single customer. It launches too many products. It chases too many different markets. It spreads its limited resources, its money, its talent so incredibly thin that nothing is done well. The marketing message gets diluted, the engineering is rushed, the brand becomes meaningless. It is a guaranteed one-way path to failure. Respecting scarcity, making hard choices, that isn't just a good strategy. It is a fundamental rule of survival.
So we'll end on this thought. We've established pretty clearly that scarcity forces us to make choices. And every choice has what economists call an opportunity cost. That's the value of the next best thing you had to give up. So hiring the salesperson meant giving up everything that developer could have built. That's the cost. But this brings us to one final critical question for any aspiring leader. In a world of limited time and relentless competition, what is the cost of not choosing at all? What is the true price you pay for indecision?